All right, welcome back to another edition of Link Up News. We're going to get it started for today, November 18, 2022. And as you can see about what's going on here, if you don't know who Michael Burry is, you need to figure out this man. You need to figure out who he is real quick, all right? So this is from finbo.com, all right? Finbo.com. And look what he says, headline. The Big Short, Michael Burry projects gold to rise amid contagion of crypto scandals, all right? All right, so as you can see here, he's warning people about the collapse in cryptocurrencies. Remember, Bitcoin got all the way up to almost 69,000, and now look at it back down now. That is more than a 50. That is more, in retrospect, of more than I said, about 70% drop. All right, so it went from 69, almost 70,000, down to 20,000, down to 19,000, and a little bit back over 20,000. All right, depending on what's going on in the economy right now. Okay, in the markets. Okay, but that is more than a 70, almost 70% drop in market value. Okay. All right, so get a hold of this man here. Read this article. This is from finbo.com. All right, this is Michael Burry. Please study this man. Please get what he says. He says a lot of things about the financial markets, and this is one man we all need to pay attention to. All right, so get this article. This is from finbo.com, finbold.com. All right, finbo.com. All right, and on the topic of gold, precious metal, gold. All right, you see here, we're gonna switch a little bit overseas. You see, what they're not talking about here in the States. All right, the Dutch Central Bank discussing gold revaluation. All right, this is from Jazeera.news. All right, Jazeera.news. All right, look here. It says the Dutch government openly discussing counseling debt by revaluation of the gold price. All right. The governor of the Dutch Central Bank stated the gold revaluation account ensures the solvency of his central bank in an interview on television about prospective losses. All right. This is really big news. All right. They're not covering it here in the States, but overseas, they're well aware about what's going on in the financial markets. Countries are well aware. Their governments are protecting themselves. They're getting away from the so-called, whatever you want to call them, the technocrats cabal, central bank money system. All right. They're getting away from it, and they realize they can see the writing on the wall, and they're protecting themselves. They're buying gold left and right, and the more gold they accumulate, they're realizing that they'd rather save their nations, their banking system, than have their own people starving and coming after them with pitchforks and knives, and you guessed it, the lynch mob approach, all right? So get this article out here. This is really big news about what's going on overseas, okay? Wonder why we ain't heard about here in the States, all right? So you know what's going on. This is from Jazeera.news, all right? Jazeera.news. All right. And then you got other countries over here, okay? People often forget about the Middle East, all right? The Middle East and Asian countries, all right? And Middle East, Asia, African countries, okay? The non-Western world, they're busy buying precious metals left and right, all right? Especially those who can buy it, and those governments who will pull, they're scraping together whatever they had to buy precious metals, okay? This is from dohannews.co, all right? Dohannews.co, all right? DOHAN news.co, CO, okay? All right, so you got the Qatar Central Bank among largest gold buyers of gold. All right, they are one of the world's largest buyers of gold. Many countries around the world are buying precious metals left and right. Not just central banks, governments are buying. Okay, this is one news that we keep beating the dead horse here on this broadcast, but we're gonna keep beating the dead horse to let you know about what's going on around the world, what they're not telling you here in the States. All right, to get in while you're getting this good, while you can buy precious metals if you can. Look at the other precious metals that you can't afford to buy, because sooner or later, if these central banks are putting out warnings and the governments are putting out these warnings, that means they're telling the people, get ready. Don't pay attention about the BS. We're buying precious metals. You need to get in good too, because if you don't get in good right now, guess what? Later on down the line, you can't afford it. All right. We're not a financial news channel. I'm just giving my honest opinion of what I've gotten into. Okay, because I can see the writing on the wall. Hopefully, many of us see the writing on the wall. Hopefully, you can too. Okay. I'm not insulting anybody. Just then putting the news out about what's going on. Please make your own decisions and don't base off of me. Okay. All right. In this channel. All right. Once again, this article is from Dohan, DOHAN news. Doha. I'm sorry, Doha. DOHA news.com .co. All right. DOHA news.co. All right. Okay, and here we go. This is from Lombardi, LombardiLetter.com. All right, LombardiLetter.com. All right, LOMBARD ILETTER.com. All right, .com. All right, central banks load up on gold again. Gold price could skyrocket. All right, let's say again, this dead horse is going to keep getting beating. We're going to keep giving the word out, keep letting you know about what's going on, okay? Central banks around the world are buying up gold again, okay? They're at it again. And remember, this article, we keep saying this almost every month, every few weeks, all right, that the central banks around the world are buying up precious metals left and right. All right, this article is November 14th, 4 days ago. All right, so please take this warning. Please take this heed. They are buying up gold, precious metals left and right. Okay, we only talk about gold, but silver and the rest of the precious metals are flying off the shelves just as much too, okay? But gold is one of the biggest hedges against inflation, okay, and depressionary talk out there, okay. So that being said, get this article out to yourselves, get it out to everybody. Again, if the central banks and the governments are buying up precious metals and they're trying to tell you, notice how they're not telling people anymore not to buy precious metals. This ain't Ben Bernanke when he stood up and said that gold is a dead relic. You don't need to store it. It's not a good store of value to try to get you out of precious and buying precious metals. Forget that. They're buying precious metals. They're not putting out in the open that the governments and central banks are buying precious metals, okay? So get in while they're getting this good, all right? And this article is again from LombardiLetter.com, all right? LOMBARDILETTER.com, all right? And then for our final article for today, this is from TheGuardian.com, all right? TheGuardian.com, all right? More than 50 poor countries are in danger of bankruptcy, says UN officials, all right? And people, when you hear about these countries, do not think that just because we live in a so-called first world country that we're not in the nation country too, all right? We are heavily in debt, all right? We are the world's largest debtor. At one time in the 60s and 70s, the U.S. was the world's largest creditor. All right, we issued credit to everybody. Everybody owed us. Now we're the largest debtor. So when you're in debt, you're not rich. You're poor. You're broke. You owe everybody money, and it's only a matter of time before the rest of the world, the world's, the United States of America's creditors, all right, come asking for their money. All right, remember, they're not asking for the Republic of the United States of America money. They're asking for the Corporation of the United States of America Incorporated money, okay? That's who's actually broke, all right? But we owe this debt because the corporation is putting this debt on us, okay? So read this article, get into it. This is from the United Nations. That poor countries are in debt. Their financial struggles are hitting them very hard, like it's hitting the rest of everybody else's hard, okay? All right, so they've tried everything and they're blaming everything. They blame everything on the Ukraine-Russia war. They're blaming everything. They're trying to get out of all excuses instead of taking a look at their bad decisions, okay? And let's face it, the decisions that we allowed them to make, okay? So get into the article here, and it creates a catastrophic scenario. Look at Sri Lanka, which has descended into civil strife with all the social and economic and political implications that carries with it. This article right here has been shown in the video that you can look up all over. You can look up all over social media. YouTube may have taken it down, but everything else is still up. You can see the elites, their so-called elites in Sri Lanka, running for their lives as the people take to the streets. They bum rush the presidential palace. They bum rush all the so-called elites in Sri Lanka. They went to pack their bags. They ran for the nearest naval vessel or any vessel can get them out to sea to avoid what's going on. The people have had it, and this is not what they're showing you here. So this article is telling you this, but it's not telling you about they blaming on everything else except for the bad monetary policies and the outright theft that went on along with the people. Okay, so get a hold of this article. And get a hold of this article, do more research on your own, and see about what's going on, okay? So I want to thank you once again for joining us on this Smelly Common News. Please be safe, be sound. Once again, thank you for watching. And I want to say this title here, I don't get a chance to broadcast a lot because I do have grown kids. All right, I do have grown teenagers. One of them is out of the house, and the other two, the teenagers, okay. I'm taking care of two of them because one of my kids is off. He's going to college, and that's the reason why I can't do broadcasts all the time, all day, every day. Okay, the viewer subscription has went down, and I understand that's why, but that's beside the point. Okay, I can't do it every time, but when I do get on, I get on and I hit you with the best information I can. Okay, so those of you stick around and through the storm and realize what's actually going on, thank you for joining. Those who cut their subscriber, You're more welcome to come back. No hard feelings about whatsoever. I understand that people want information. They want it now. Okay, they want to be consistent. Okay, but we want to thank you anyway for being a part of the family, being part of the news article family, getting out to the rest of the world, and come on back whenever you're ready. Okay. Now, once again, thank you for joining us on this Melly Got Me News. Please be safe, be sound. Remember, you're your own best banker, your own best credit union, your own best savings and loans. You're your own best financier. Okay, take care of yourself first, then take care of everyone else. Once again, thank you for joining another edition of Melanin Economic News. So let me start over. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Melanin Economic News. Be safe, be sound. Let's get it started.